This is Sound Advice with audiologist Doug Leonard from ASI, Audiological Services of Iowa. Doug, recently you went to a little concert, Blink 182. I'm sure everybody knows Blink 182 out there.
Well, those of us that are in a certain age category,
Yeah.
probably mid-40s to mid-50s or somewhere around there, they were popular back in the day when I was in college, I guess.
First of all, was it a great concert?
It was a great concert. I don't attend a lot of concerts, and I had some friends that asked me to go down. It was down in Kansas City here a couple months ago, and it was nice to go and hear live music.
It is, but the problem with live music is you walk out a lot of times, and even your friends commented their ears were ringing afterwards.
Yeah, I recall very astutely going to a concert in college, and this is pre-audiology days, so I wasn't concerned about hearing and hearing protection, and went up to Iowa City to a concert and came out of there, and my ears were just muffled. My ears felt plugged up because I'd had a temporary threshold shift. I know now, meaning that they damaged the nerves in my inner ear with that excessively loud noise. So you walk out of there, your hearing is muffled, and you have tinnitus. So didn't want to have that same experience, and so I ended up taking some musicians' earplugs.
And that's interesting. I always wondered, what's the difference between like just hearing protection and musicians' hearing plugs, things like that? You have an article, I think it's on your Facebook page, talking about these different kinds of hearing protections.
Well, a standard earplug, has a higher noise reduction rating. It's called NRR, noise reduction rating, and
it just blocks everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it blocks everything, and it especially blocks out the higher pitches. And for most noisy activities, whether that's chainsawing or car races or whatever, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're not listening to music. With music, though, if you put a traditional standard foam earplug in or whatever, it will make the music sound a little bit odd because it's almost like you're listening to the radio and you've got the treble turned down with a standard earplug. A musician's plug has less protection, but still adequate generally, but it has a flat frequency response. So, music sounds the same. It's almost like you didn't turn the treble down, you just turned the volume down. So I was able to hear the music very well, recognized most of the songs. Of course, they didn't play their hits until the end that I really recognized. But, as soon as we were done, I took them out and, my ears felt very normal.
They are really terrific, and they're not that horribly expensive. I mean, you can get some pretty good ones for pretty cheap.
Yeah, you can find them on Amazon, a lot of different places. It's not a product that we carry because it's just so readily available on online shopping places. But just, put in the search bar on Amazon, musicians' earplugs. Make sure they're filtered. They have different, again, noise reduction ratings of those filters. But, really protect your hearing because all the folks that I was with, even some younger people, in their mid-20s, talked about how much tinnitus they had after the concert, and so they had damaged their hearing, maybe temporarily, probably, not permanently, but, just get a pair of earplugs and put them in, and you can save yourself the hassle.
Now, Doug, if somebody wants to make an appointment, get a hearing screening, always a good idea for that, especially as you get a little older. What's the number here?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from John at 792-5933.
And you can ask any questions you want, whether it's hearing protection, whether it's hearing screenings, whatever it happens to be, give them a call. Great folks at Audiological Services of Iowa.